Loading, it's loading, it's loaded. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone today in the lovely chat, in the land of the place where the people who the chat are? How's the things? They should be good. They should be good. I don't like it when things are not good. Hello, Sindri. I like the little symbol you have next to your name. It's very good. The Star of Appreciation. Wonderful. Where are people from? We have to do the thing like Games Workshop does because I'm like a professional streamer, YouTuber now. That's definitely what the number going up means. So I have to do the thing that Games Workshop does whenever they do a live stream, like, hey, tell me where you're from, which country, and then you name a country, and I'm like, hey, that is a country. There's a Games Workshop store in that country. That's how they do it. Hello, Custodia. Hello. And I hope I've been okay for time zones. I mean, it's not the best. Definitely not the best. Because I know that some parts of the world will be asleep right now, like New Zealand and Australia and Japan. Those places. Those places. Hello from Indiana, USA. I'll assume that Indiana is a state and not a city. Because I don't know my American states. But that might be one of them. As far as I know, it is the best state. I don't know if Games Workshop is just getting wrecked, but they're fine. There's been a lot of leaks for the Space Marine stuff. So that can be a video in the future. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, it's only 4:30 in the morning in Australia. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Everyone is awake at 3:30 in the morning. This is a normal thing to be. Thank you for being here, Ashley. Philippines, see? We have people from the Philippines, even though it's nighttime there. Good. Good. No one sleeps, apparently, on that whole Pacific Ocean. No one there. Scotland. Scotland works. It is at least evening in Scotland. There we go. See, it's actually fun doing this with the Games Workshop thing of where you're from, what time is it where you are. And then, you know, if you tell me the weather as well, then whoa, it's going to be able to narrow it down. Robert, you managed to make it for a change. Good. There's always the VOD gang where people turn up and put comments in the comments. That's working. That's working. 11 a.m. Oh, yeah, that'll be the other side of the Pacific to all the people who are asleep. Great. Great. 2 p.m. Okay, we have every single time zone. We have mornings, we have afternoons, we have evenings. We have Atlanta, which is possibly a city, possibly a state in the United States. It sure is one of them, possibly both. Not sure. Everywhere it's raining. Just every place. Raining in Scotland, raining in England, raining across, well, apparently in New York, the rain comes up from the ground to meet you. Okay, the skies are grey in Britain, but that's just because it's waiting to rain. That's the two states in England. Either it's raining or about to rain. That's how it goes every single day. Excellent. So if it is your first stream, type 1 in the chat. And if you have literally seen nothing from me before, no posts, no shorts, no videos, then type 0 in the chat. Otherwise, you know, if it's like your 6th live stream, if you've been here for all of them, I don't know if I've done more than 6, I've maybe done 6, 10, there we go. We have at least one person who is brand new, many people who are brand new. You will have no idea how I normally do things. Good, that means I get to explain everything. I do love saying words, and then people listen to those words. So as I'll generally chat, this is general chat. This is general chat. We'll do chatting, especially today. I haven't got anything super special planned. And then as we go on, you can ask questions about the game, about the armies, about the system, about the rules, about what's fun, what's not. Is Games Workshop pure evil? We don't know. There is also a Discord to join. Thank you for mentioning that, Sindri. That is linked in the description. There can be memes. I'm not opposed to memes. I'm just not going to be pre-generating the memes. In theory, today was meant to be the, I think that roughly about now, then we're going to have 3,000 subscribers, roughly. But then I did a live stream with a very nice guy called Paul from Paul is Bad at Stuff, and I got about 25 subscribers the very next day, and then a few more came in as per normal, and so it's jumped way above the 3,000 subscribers that I thought it would. Otherwise, I was thinking about now is when the number will tick up. So that's why I have the number tracker on screen, so that as people live subscribe, if they wish to, if they hadn't already, if they were here and hadn't subscribed, that is a thing you can do. And then the number that's on screen right now will go up. That's how fun buttons work. This is the peak interactivity of the internet. You click a button and a number goes up. It's pure drama. But the schedule for today has something a little bit different. So even if it is your first stream, it's going to be different to normal, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to be streaming for about an hour, and then in 51 minutes, then I have a video going live from a premiere, which is going to be all about the Gene Stealer cult Brood Brothers. It's a video I've been planning to do for a while. It's a video that's been requested for a while, though not by anyone who was in the Ko-Fi Legionary tier, because the Ko-Fi Legionary tier lets you get all of the stuff about... you get to request videos, you get secret chats in the Discord, and if you want to do that and join that, the link is in the description to become one of those people. Yes, I too have seen many things about the Space Marine Codex, and I will be having a Space Marine video come out. Probably tomorrow. I mean, I was pretty happy with the way the Battle Sisters detachments in theory could work, which was also a video about the Space Marines, but it was actually a Battle Sister video because this is a Battle Sister channel and a Gene Stealer cult channel. So there's that. So I'll be doing something about the Space Marine things that a lot of them just haven't mentioned. And they have the physical book with them because they're on like the friendship program with Games Workshop. Yeah. The reason they changed Oath of Moment, and I think I've mentioned this in a video. Yes, I did. The video on devastating wounds that came out last week, I think it was last Friday. I mentioned it there. The reason they changed Oath of Moment is because it has a really bad scaling. So at 1,000 points, it is incredibly powerful because you can wipe out a quarter or a sixth of the enemy army, maybe a fifth. If they have like 5 big units, you can wipe out one of those units every single turn, plus whatever else you're firing. So you can table the enemy a lot quicker. And then it's going to be so... It's a bit easier for things like, oh, you get out of a transport and the Razorback gives you reroll to wounds. Now it's actually useful if it's not just against the Oath of Moment target. And then when you got to like 2,000 points, which is where most tournaments are, then Oath of Moment became a lot less useful. So they're trying to spread out the number of rerolls to wound. So there's stuff on a lot of different units. And yes, thank you, Prince, for the chapter, for the edition that is less about rerolls. This is so many rerolls. I think what they were trying to say with that, and said it really, really badly, is you're not getting characters that are giving rerolls. Then again, we have the Canoness, which gives full rerolls to hit, not just reroll hit rolls of 1. So never mind. But that's roughly why they tried to nerf the Oath of Moment. Some of the detachments that the Space Marines are going to get, yeah, it's okay. I fought against the Tyrannid Crusher Stampede twice now. That has some scariness to it. Not massive amounts, but as long as you actually go with... There's a lot of monsters that actually fit the style of it. Yeah, it's very scary. A Toxicrene hitting a squad of Battle Sisters when it's hitting on 2s and then wounding on 2s with absurd number of attacks. It's wiping out a squad very easily and making its point back quickly. Carnifexes that are able to do impact hits, essentially doing tank shock, and then there wasn't anything super big that had a like explode on death ability, But if there was, that would have been scary to just be like, everything nearby takes D3 plus 3 wounds. That'd be nasty. So even the less good Tyranid detachments, I think, are still quite good. The Space Marines, the first company one, I'm not super stoked about, but I think a lot of people will be taking the first company one because that's where all of the stuff from the Leviathan starter set came. So you got your Stern Guard, you got your Terminators, you've got your characters that go with them, and then people are like, oh, yeah, this is the one I'm going for because it's a really easy in for new players. And then they don't need to think about, oh, which chapter am I, which style am I going with this or that. The Imperial Fist one of Stand Still and Shoot is fine. Generally, people online have been saying the Salamanders one is average, and I'm looking at the Salamanders one and thinking, I would really, really like some Strength 5 bolt guns, please. Also, Strength 10 melter guns, please. Yeah, let's get some of that. It's all about transports, though, so you're relying on having the transport. It's the Argent Shroud way of playing. So if you have Argent Shroud Battle Sisters, and you want to try out a detachment, as I said in my video, you could go with the Firestorm detachment in a casual game, see what it's like, see how the sisters improve. They'll probably improve quite a bit because the Our Martyred Lady detachment is not doing massive things for us right now. Yeah. It's okay, though. It's okay. So I'm liking the Salamanders one, maybe the best. The Stealthy one, the Raven Guard one, you get -1 to hit 12 inches away. It's okay, but you're going to want to be getting close to the enemy. So I'm not sure on that one. I'll try it at some point. I'll try it. Okay, the Imperial Fist one has the Resurrection. Interesting. It also has a lot of Standing Still is good. And yes, that's what I was about to say, Giga Slayer, with your lovely wolf emoji. Evil, evil wolves. No werewolves here. Awful bad. The idea of having that, but with Thunderwolf cavalry rather than the Outriders and the bikes, yeah, that's pretty good. And if you want some bike squads that aren't going to Legends, the Deathwatch veteran bikers are still staying, which are exactly the same unit. But instead of a plasma gun, you have a Deathwatch long-range vigil weapon, and if you have a power sword, you instead have a Deathwatch close combat long vigil weapon of doom, or a Xenophase blade, however you want to put it. Something like that. I did maybe, after my video on Devastating Wounds, end up buying some Deathwatch models, because I realized from about 15, then you could get actually 16 models, and I was like, haha, I am the genius. I will get one over on Games Workshop. And then I realized after the money had gone out of my bank that I was like, oh, I've paid Games Workshop money. They definitely got one out of me. I am the victim here. Addictions. That's what it is. This is now just a support group for everyone who's had to spend money on Games Workshop products, being like, why is it so expensive and why do I want more? Oh, it's awful. The next balance patch is expected to be January. So they did a whole bunch of them at the start of the edition just to try and fix things a bit. Then it was always meant to be, okay, we'll have a little one in September and then a one in January, which is bigger. Instead, they've gone a lot in September, and then I don't know what January is going to be like. Maybe the actual planned stuff. But there's only going to be about 4 codexes out before January. Space Marines, Tyranids, Necrons, and AdMech. And the AdMech players will be very happy to get that because they didn't really get anything in the balance update in September. They're just, we'll leave it for the codex. Seems to be how it's going. Yes. You will also notice that previous to the last live stream, if you were here, the audio things have all been fixed. I got rid of all of the scrap code that was infecting all of the alerts and the chat and the sound, so everything should be running smoothly. Without the interference of chaos, the Emperor protects from scuff. Eventually. Just not in any particular live stream. And a new kind of scuff appears in each one. And since I'm trying something wholly new this time, where when this live stream ends, it should take us straight into the premiere of the new video on Genestealer Cult Brood Brothers, that's a whole new thing that cannot go quite right. The tech priests have been round, they've intoned with the incense, They've done the holy pressing of the keys. It's all been good. It's all good. So we're going to get some new Space Marine models. Yep. And everything is fine. It'll be fine. I'll do a video on the Space Marines soon. Tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. The Battle Sisters could do with some actual anti-tank. I'm trying to think of stuff that's... Yeah, we need... Yeah. Castigator's not amazing. It's okay. I just really like the Exorcist better because Strength 10 and Indirect Fire are really good in this edition. Oh, you got the Guard Codex late in the edition for 9th edition. What you may be able to do, because they've been pretty nice about it, is take that into the shop and say, hey, I only got this for like a few weeks and I never got to use it. Am I able to get my money back? And if you have the receipt, even if it's out of date, they're sometimes saying, yeah, it's fine. Because then they're they're trying to get a good customer base and they know that their codex system is pretty nasty. Yeah. Or you could say, hey, I bought this thinking it would work for 10th edition. Turns out it's a whole new book and it doesn't work. Can I have my money back? And sometimes, depending on the store person, they will indeed say yes. Yes. The first company, oh yeah, you get the Old Oath of Moment, but once per game. But you do get to send something back into Teleport Strike. So Terminators, if they've killed something on the board, they can go back into Teleport Strike and then come back somewhere else. I think the Dark Angels will be using this more than any other faction. Sub-faction. Chapter. The Deathwatch already have something like that, because you can teleport kill teams around the board, which is fun. Just 2 kill teams going, whew, they're over there now. And that'll be like 5 dudes plus 4 Terminators plus a bike. Very nice. But Battle Sisters could use some anti-tank and mech stuff. And since I've been talking about the Argent Shroud, and it's popular with the Argent Shroud, they got a lot of appreciation in that video I did on Battle Sister potential detachments. And the Genestealer cult mechanized stuff did well, so I expect within the next couple of weeks there will be a Battle Sisters mechanized list, appreciation analysis, all going together, so there'll be a video on them. Yeah, that's an upcoming thing. And thinking of buying codexes, I did a poll on the Warhammer Community... No, not the Warhammer Community tab. I don't have access to the Warhammer Community tab. I don't run Warhammer Community. No. On the YouTube tab, the YouTube Community tab, the tab that is me. That one. Then, what did I do? Oh yeah, I did a poll on codexes. Are people going to buy the codexes? And I was thinking, surely if a lot of this stuff is available online anyway, then people won't buy the codexes. And still, 50%, like 50-50 on buying to not buying the codex. Some of it has pretty stuff. Some of it's like, I want the updated lore and to find out what's happening and don't want to just watch some random thing on YouTube about someone talking about the lore. Incidentally, that's what I did when I went on Paul's channel. I was like, and here's the entirety of what Magnus has done from his birth through to the 42nd millennium. It was a lot of fun. That is linked in my community tab. It's also on the Discord. It's relatively easy to find, and you can always ask in the Discord, and I'll be like, yes, here is the link to a nice person's channel where I talked, and it was my face on his channel talking about the stuff. Marco really liked the video about potential orders for sisters. Thank you. Thank you. It took some effort to do, as do a lot of these videos, and I try and get them out as quick as possible. Ooh, should I be buying the Marines Codex as a divergent chapter? I think there won't be everything that you can possibly have listed in your codex when it comes out. So if you play Blood Angels or Dark Angels, which is due for January, it won't be saying, here's the stats for intercessors, here's the stats for everything else. Then you're not going to see the rules there for them. So I think depends how much you're leaning into the divergent chapter. Like if you're playing Deathwatch and you're using a lot of kill teams, then you probably don't need the Marine Codex. But if you're playing Blood Angels and you have 1 unit of Sanguinary Guard and everything else is plain old Space Marines, then it may be useful to get that Codex. But I don't expect they will have in the Blood Angels Codex, here's what a tactical squad is, here's what a Rhino is, or anything like that. I'm assuming. That just doesn't seem to be how they're doing it. Because otherwise then it's like, oh, I see the intercessors in this book are different to the intercessors in that book. Which intercessor unit is correct? Something weird like that. Yeah, yeah. They have already removed the free online index of Space Marines. It's gone from their website. So if you didn't download it already, then you can't download it direct from them. And they've also removed the Tyrannid one, and the Tyrannids are also gone from the app. So if you made an army of the Tyrannids in the app, that disappeared. And so if you have a Space Marine list that you've made in the 40k app, write it down with paper. Otherwise, it is going to disappear probably in about a week's time. Yeah, yeah. Black Templars. Okay, I mean, you can't have Black Templars and Deathwatch in the same army, but they are very nice. Black Templars are doing very well with their horrifying Crusader squads. And Deathwatch, it varies. It very much varies. Yeah. Will I be doing a video on obscure sister orders and the way they work? Probably not, because the way the obscure sister orders work, they tend to have only like 2 paragraphs of lore, if that, because there's only really 6 of them being mentioned. And then the way they function is very, very much like the other ones. Like there's the Order of the Ashen Shrine, which is so very Sacred Rose that it might as well just be Sacred Rose, but they're in like golden armor rather than white. That's about all it is for the minor order sisters, unfortunately. Yes, hooray for Warpedia. Warpedia is slowly coming back. They have the Space Marine rules, the Tyrannid rules, and several other factions. They've got the Astra Militarum stuff for 10th edition. They're slowly getting there, so that if you have access to a computer and the internet, or like a tablet and the internet, or a decent phone and the internet, then you'll be able to see all of the individual units, even if they go to Legends, or they get destroyed, or you don't have access to the Codex or the Index anymore. And when I was talking about apps, I found that a lot of people are going for newrecruit.eu. That's a very popular one. And, you know, any army that you make there isn't going to be defeated. I mean, not going to be defeated. Not going to be deleted. Defeat, not guaranteed. Success, not necessarily going to happen. But it will remain there if you use newrecruit.eu rather than the Games Workshop app. Excel sheets. Excel sheets are very popular. And just being able to make your own thing, possibly during work time, if you're like, I need to look busy, but I don't have anything to do. So just do the thing with the Excel sheets and be like, yep, I'm putting in numbers and typing things here. So that all works. Absolutely. Ooh, Prince of the Valley is going to use the Tyrannid Codex to run an Ending Swarm. It's pretty good. The Unending Swarm is pretty good. It's also a lot of fun to play against because there's just so many targets, so many bodies that you get to slay them. And then sometimes they come back. It's a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun. I played against it and I'm going to be playing against it again soon. The problem or the difficult bit with that is if you know the Unending Swarm is coming, you take lots of anti-infantry, like anti-chaff stuff, and then they'll include 1 or 2 monsters. Just a couple of Carnifexes and you're like, ooh, I don't have anything to deal with that. That's a problem. So even if you know you're facing the Unending Swarm, you also need to have some anti-tank as best you can provide. At least as best you can. Yes. So Wipedia is back. So you may want to open it sitting in a lab with a camera. Oh, okay. That's fair enough. Assuming that it's a lab where you hold vials and things, maybe not being messing around with Excel sheets is an idea. But obviously listening to people on YouTube is totally fine. Obviously. Sneaky bugs. Oh, the sneaky bugs. That's quite fun. There's also adding Gene Stealers, not pure strain Gene Stealers, just the regular Tyrannid kind of Gene Stealer, and they can advance and charge with that detachment. That's very funny. That's very scary. It's a lot of enjoyment. The Neurolictors, they have a surprising number of wounds. There's like 7 wounds on a Neurolictor. I wasn't super bothered about their psych, now you take a battle shock test. The Battle Sisters I had were passing most of them, but, you know, it's fun, it's scary, it's more of a tough thing to take down than the regular lictors. Their damage 1 on the neuro lictors isn't as bad for characters. The damage 2 on the regular lictors is a lot more scary. Yes. No music today. There should be music. What's happened to my music? There we go. There should be music again. It's very quiet, but there is music. Thank you for the congratulations on 3K. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, so Wikipedia. Wikipedia is back, so you can open a new tab and see Wikipedia is there. Also, if you are just happen to be on a computer and you're opening new tabs, if you open this tab with me in it in a new window, then YouTube sees that as an extra person there. You can also click like on both the new window that you opened and this window, and then YouTube's like, oh, suddenly this live stream is super popular. Send more people there. Advertise it, advertise it. So that's an option. That's something you can do for fun. It might just be quiet. Yeah. I don't want to make it too loud. It says it's playing. You'll have to let me know if it gets too loud suddenly. Thank you, thank you. I didn't want to make such a big thing about the 3K. It's a thing that's like, yes, the number went up. I've got to keep making the videos though. It's good that the number does still keep going up. I mean, it'd be more dramatic if it was going up right now, but it went up like 6 people in the last couple of hours. So it must be that as soon as people see I'm live streaming, they're like, oh, okay, we'll leave it. I don't need to press the subscribe button if you've already pressed the subscribe button. Now do we have music? I think there's music. I can hear music. Not sure. Oh well, never mind. If it doesn't work, then it's fine. I know you can only subscribe once. It's a shame. It is there. Oh well, it doesn't matter if the music doesn't come on. Or if I don't want it to get like so loud that it doesn't work, and I don't want to get the scrap code again, is the problem. I probably just need to tick a thing. Yes, the music that we should all be hearing is definitely in the room with us right now. It isn't just me. Oh well. I could do something. I know the thing I need to click, I just don't know where it is. It doesn't matter. I'm not super keen on having music. It doesn't matter. The music isn't the most important thing right now. It's fine. Oh, 3K subs is well deserved. Well, thank you. Oh, everyone's busy and playing 500-point games. I do play a lot of 500-point games and small games. They're really fun. Small games are a lot of joy because you can do them quickly, and that's when things like, oh yeah, Oath of Moment, full rerolls to hit and rerolls to wound is too much. So you sort of have to go by the Combat Patrol rules. So in the Combat Patrol version, Oath of Moment is just reroll to hits, and that's it. So that's fine there. But 500-point games, yeah, they're a lot of fun, and then you can play several, or you can try out, okay, I just need to know how this one unit works, and it doesn't matter if it's not amazing. I just want to be able to play with it, and then it works. I do run Sisters at 500 points, and my sister army at 500 points is a Palatine, a squad of Battle Sisters, an Exorcist. The points have changed, so I can't quite add it up in my head. A unit of Seraphim, and I think that's everything. So it's like 60 plus 150, 200, 300. Yeah, that's about 500 points. Yeah. Yeah, so the Oath has only rerolls to hit in the Boarding Patrol as well. Interesting. Oh, Sisters cope way better at the small number of points, because then when we're getting a Miracle Dice every turn, they're actually very useful. And then if you do kill anything with, say, a unit that has a Simulacrum, like the Battle Sisters, because at a 500-point level, there is the chance that the Battle Sisters will actually kill an enemy unit. Then you get a Miracle Dice from that. And in the unlikely situation, possible situation, that you do lose one of your units, it could happen. But if you only have 3 units on the board, yeah, you're not getting a lot of miracle dice out of that. Or you could just run Canis Rex at 500 points. That works too. And I think at 500 points, it's generally agreed that you have like sticky objectives on every unit, just so you're able to hold 4 objectives on the board, even if you only have 3 units. Yeah. And then you're not trying to use miracle dice to punch way up and destroy a massive unit, big monster, something like that. So the miracle dice, much better at that size. Much, much better. And so the sisters generally work fine at that level too. Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, yeah. Thinking of miracles. Or not miracles. I watched the next episode of Pariah Nexus. I don't know if people have considered after my video on you shouldn't watch Pariah Nexus. It's really not good. There's so much that should be way improved, what you'd think for. Even though Games Workshop is quite a big company, they don't have a media department that does like their own media. Yet, then again, the Blood Angel stuff that was all in black and white, that was pretty good. And they have had a lot of things good in the past, but Pariah Nexus, not so good. No, the first act of that was called Hallowed Martyrs, and it didn't include any Battle Sisters. That was the one that just said, you know, that was the one that just had salamanders. There was just salamanders there. Yeah, so you've only seen like clips of what's uploaded to YouTube. Okay, okay. Yeah, the salamander's just killing some zombies, and then it's like, this is Hallowed Martyrs. Like, it's not. There should be Battle Sisters if it's Hallowed Martyrs. Come on. You know the keyword you're using. And then this one salamander person does like some tactical intuition to figure out how a battle went, which is kind of funny as you see it in like backwards reverse. So an Ultramarine runs up to a Necron warrior holding his head and slams his head back into the body, and the Necron warrior walks away. That was just such a funny scene. And then he's also able to use his tactical intuition to figure out what the final words of a Battle Sister Superior were. Or Palatine, maybe a Palatine. That was odd. That was definitely an odd one. Yeah. Very strange. I'm pretty sure that the guardsman that's with the Battle Sister in that Pariah Nexus, that she's not real. She's just a figment of the sister's imagination. So she'll be just, ooh, I'm here, I'm not here. Because she was in the background of the scenes where the sister was talking to the salamander, but the salamander never looked at her, never addressed her. So I'm pretty sure that Cadian is not a real Cadian. Yeah. And then we have, as someone in chat said, maybe the salamander will become a new character. But I really don't want that because his name is Suckon. And I'm like, what's your surname? Or is that your surname? Suckon what? So, Mr. Suckon may not become a named character. I don't think he will. I think he'll just be a guy who's there, and maybe he'll get some kind of toy, like a joy toy thing, named after him, or it'll be a one-off, hey, you can get this random intercessor, that's how it goes, here's a model, the helmet's exposed, and then there's, like, the heavy metal team painted him up like that. That'll work. That'll work. Yeah. What was the coffin dance? Was that something to do with the Triumph of St. Catherine? I don't know if there's been any change to that. Or was there something else? Don't know. Yeah, but at 500 points, Junith could be good with sisters, or at any size. The Imagifier is okay with Sacrosanct, but I just don't genuinely like Sacrosanct at the moment. Definitely think that the oh, it's literally Catherine. Got it. Yes, sack on the nuts. Oh, it got cheaper. I see. So it can work in a larger game where you've got several units around it, and you can move that up as a group into the mid-board, but at, say, 1,000 points or anything less, I wouldn't include it because it forces you to clump up so much of your army. Otherwise, you're using like one Battle Sister unit and getting the benefit of Triumph for St. Catherine, and it just doesn't work. You don't get enough out of it. Yeah. So generally, we also want Hospitallers instead of the Imagifiers, and I have a whole video analysing the differences between the two and why the Hospitaller is really good and what the Hospitaller does and why the Hospitaller has huge arm muscles. the kind of gains, as the people say, that a Kata-chan can only dream of. Mm-hmm. So will people be getting some of these new Space Marine models? Is that something we do? I don't know if we have any Space Marine players in the chat. Then there's like, it tends to be mostly Battle Sister players, as you can tell from the way the chat keeps going. Or then there's Gene Stealer Cult players, and I hope there's Gene Stealer Cult players so that when we get to another 22 minutes from now, and then the premiere starts of the Gene Stealer Cult Brood Brothers, then it'll be very useful. Or if you're an Imperial Guard player, it's very good if you're an Imperial Guard player. Though I don't do much analysis of the individual, like, Born Soldiers and things like that, because they're not relevant to Gene Stealer Cult. But the units, definitely the units. Imperial Knight player, very good. I have done my video on the allies for the Battle Sisters, so that's where Canis Rex gets a big thumbs up. You like the smell of the Codex. Wonderful. Good. Now I'm just imagining people going into their Games Workshop, peeling off the shrink wrap and just sniffing the book and then putting it back on the shelf. I still need to get one of the boxy dreadnoughts because they'll be going for sale. They're going to stay in the Codex. They're not going to Legends. Just the Ironclad version and the super special, the Veteran Dreadnought. What was that called? Relic Dreadnought? No. Contempted Dreadnought's going to Legends. I can't remember the name of it. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That one's going to Legends. Regular boxy Dreadnought is staying. And then you have your three kinds of Primaris style Dreadnought. One with the plasma cannon. One with the claws that tears people's faces off. And then we also have the third kind. The new one, the Ballistus Dreadnought that came in the Leviathan box set. Yeah. The Primaris can be basing material for the Firstborn Black Templar. The Venerable Dreadnought. That's it. They have to come up with some name. I'm not liking all of the new Space Marine names, where they're just so absurd. Desolation Marines or Desolator Marines, all that kind of various things. So strange. So strange. Thank you, Mr. T. Mr. T. T is in the drink. Thank you very much. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Guardsmen. Oh, yeah, Gene Stealer Cult could have Guardsmen as imaginary friends. That's how it works. The Venerable Dreadnought was great in Dawn of War 2. I never played Dawn of War 2. Dawn of War 1 had a little go at Dawn of War 3 and just found it strange. It was like, where's the rest of the factions? We have Eldar, we have Orcs, we have Space Marines, no one else. Where's the Battle Sisters? What I did do, it was like February of 2020, a very joyous time before nothing happened. So I walked into a shop and I saw the Soulstorm thing and I was like, for 50 pence or £1.50. So that's the equivalent of like $4 Australian, like $2-3 American dollars. Yeah, so I got that. I was like, okay, I might just be fine to get the little book and read the little booklet. That's good. It has plot and story and stuff like that in it. Turns out it just had the code, and that also gives you not only Soulstorm, but all of the other stuff, just not the like story missions for them. Although it did also come with the story missions for like the Blood Ravens. So it was like the first main game and Soulstorm all together in once for a very tiny amount of money. Half of them are in, half of them end with or. Yeah, I don't like intercessors. It's a silly name. Just say tactical Marines that don't know how to use any weapon other than a bolt gun. That works. The Battle Sector does have sisters in it. I'm not a super fan of the Battle Sisters in that game. The little story cinematic thing with the Seraphim flipping around a Chaos Marine and stabbing him with a power sword, that's alright. I like that bit. But the game itself, I'm not a massive fan of. I have enough games that just drain away like my time and life. One of which is called Fear and Hunger. Have you heard of the game Fear and Hunger? It is an RPG, and it is a horror RPG. It's very unpleasant. But you start out as a guy, or person, a woman. I chose a woman knight. Yeah. I was going, you go into this dungeon, rescue a person. It's fine. I walked along. Dogs ate my face. I realized that was a problem. I collected some stuff. I went down a side passage thinking it was a storeroom. got in, saved a bunch of people, got to the guy I needed, and he was already dead. And that was, you know, really annoying. Turns out you can like resurrect him, but no, I went back. I went back to the start and I was like, okay, we're doing this again. I went in and it turns out there's a 30-minute time limit I have to rescue the love of my life and also like a child that I think is his daughter, but he didn't seem to acknowledge that. So I got in, got the guy, got out, and then he said, I think I have some unfinished business in there. It's like, no, I didn't just go through horror and hell and tentacle monsters who do tentacle things to you. None of that happened to me, thankfully. But I didn't do all of that to rescue you just so you can say I'm going back in. No, you can go back in on your own if you want into the horror and the monsters and things called stingers that sting you, but there. None of that. None of that. No, this is done. This is just done. We're leaving. End game. This is where the story ends. Otherwise, you're not the love of my life anymore. I'm abandoning you here if you go back in there again, because I'm not going in after you. We're done. Yeah. Yeah. That's what the stingers do. Yes. I've only heard of Borderlands 2. See, not playing anything worse than Stardew Valley is perfectly fine. Farming Simulator, I think Farming Simulator 2022 is a free game if you have the PlayStation thing with the signed up on the PlayStation 4, 5, whichever one it is that's current. That one. You can have a farming simulator. That's pretty nice and gentle. Yeah. I haven't done Baldur's Gate 3. No. I've just been doing other, like, nicer stuff. So I played Chaos Gate. I did that as a video. I did the one with the thing with the Titans. What was that called? Titanicus Dominus. Did that on stream. That's a video. It's got clips of it as well. There's a Hollow Cure. Okay. Otherwise, what have I been playing? So many other things. Not really other things. No. Now I know where my free time went. It went on making videos for all of the VTube stuff. Yes. Yeah. We're going to probably see a lot more Desolator Marines coming up because the Imperial Fist detachment gives you benefits if you stand still. And as they have indirect fire, they're going to be wanting to stand still and shoot and stuff. Yeah. So that's going to be popular in that detachment. Along with probably Devastator squads and intercessors and heavy intercessors. Those will all be staples of it. Final Liberation. That one's a okay game. It's okay. It's based on the old Epic, I think the 1999 version, or maybe 2003 version of Epic. One of them. It does have some fun cutscenes, which are all live action people. I don't know how they did the orcs. Did they even do orcs in the live action cutscenes? Maybe they didn't. But yeah, the cutscenes are fun. Definitely fun. As you have like a commissar commander who's in charge of everything. There's a stormtrooper dude. It's a lot of good fun. It's a nice one. Armored Core 6. People have been going for Armored Core 6. Yeah. That's great. Oh, Farming Simulator. Farming Simulator sounds brutal. If you're like, oh, I'm sowing my seeds, but I haven't turned on the machine that sows the seeds. You tend not to do that in live, actual doing it in real life. You tend to know when there's bits of seeds coming out and actually ploughing the land. Stuff like that becomes noticeable. Yeah. Interestingly, if we're talking about new models, which I'm sure we were at one point, I have codes and affiliate links. So if you're in the UK or Europe, then is that going to do it as a link? I think no. I need to get the actual link. Okay, and do the one for Australia and New Zealand. That's a newer one. That works. Yes, Gap Games for Australia and New Zealand. It is code vampire /vampire takes you there, and then you can get your like 20% off compared to Games Workshop prices. Very nice if you're in New Zealand, Australia, and you're thinking, I need to get some of these new Space Marine models, or other stuff, or just more sisters, or more Gene Stealer Cult, or some of them Brood Brothers that we're going to see in 13 minutes. That all works. Rights of War. What was Rights of War? Is that a game? I'm pretty sure that might be a game. Maybe. Maybe it's a game. And there's the Firestorm game links. That's for UK and Europe, where you can get, I think it's about 12% off most of their products for the Games Workshop stuff. And they have a link where you can pay to pre-order the Space Marine stuff. Yes, you played Darkest Dungeon. Okay, everything's getting very weird and grim. So Darkest Dungeon isn't too awful. Right. Oh, I remember Rights of War now. Yeah, it was a hex-based game thing, and you could have avatars and guardians. Yes, I remember it. It was one of the games that sure does exist at that time. That's what I remember of it. It was just not the best that whole time. There was very few amazing games. Age of Empires, the very first Age of Empires that came out, I thought that was great. Really fun. Only 20 years old. Yeah, 20 years is a long time ago. That's a while. That's most of the time most of the people in chat have been alive. What is the best 40k game ever? I really like Chaos Gate, which again I played on a video. But the problem is, when you go higher and higher levels, you get more and more Space Marines. And then the games take longer and longer. So it's like XCOM, but rather than having 5 people, you now have 25. Such a long time to go through it. Yeah. Age of Empires were a lot of fun. Age of Empires 3 just went kind of weird. I played some of the, like, make-it-yourself battles. They were alright. The Space Hulk with the Dark Angels, that is okay. Although I feel I run out of ammunition too quickly and I just always end up punching them. So it's always about which melee weapon have I got and is that enough? The Rogue Trader, let's see, is that the one? I think some people have already played a version of that. I don't know if it's already out or some version is already out or a game that's on the same engine has come out. And people are like, yeah, it's fine. You definitely feel like a Rogue Trader. You get things like you can go down to this planet and on the planet is a piece of like a mirror that's perfect. Do you want to touch it? And one of the options is just nuke it from orbit. Yeah, that's very much feeling like it. Battlefleet Gothic. The first Battlefleet Gothic I really liked. Not just because I knew the plot off by heart. The second one got a lot harder. Not all of the missions were balanced. Genestealer Cult were overpowered in that. Being able to be a Tyranid player and just going along and like click, there's Genestealer Cult there. Oh look, I've taken the planet without needing to do any kind of fight because it's been like 2 years. Strange amount of Genestealer Cult spawning in that time. That doesn't quite match the law, but okay, we'll go with it. Yeah, so I really enjoyed the Battlefleet Gothic ones. They were fun. They were a lot of fun. Especially that first one. So I wonder if we'll see, what's his name, Admiral Spire. If they did something more with the miniatures, because if they're doing all of their miniatures back again in the new models, so like they've done with Epic, and they brought back Titanicus and Aeronautica Imperialis, which came out in 1998, that's come back, and of course Epic is now Epic Horus Heresy, or whatever they're calling it, the tiny version with the tiny people, many of which have tactical rocks. I have opinions on tactical rocks. I think there's too many tactical rocks. So not having tactical rocks would be nice. That is something about the new Space Marines. They have a lot of slightly different spikes and things for their jump pack troops. I don't know if it's amazing. It kind of looks like they're falling all over the place. But at least it's not just pure tactical rocks. They also don't have the plasma pistol joke. I'm getting very sick of the Space Marines of the new Games Workshop models making the exact same plasma pistol joke again and again. It is so much better than the flight stand. I absolutely agree it's better than the flight stand. Yes, you could just have them on foot. I don't like the flight stands. For the Inceptors I just lent them against the flight stand because there's no way a bulky model like that is going to stay on the flight stand. Even for the Battle Sister Seraphim, flight stands, not amazing, and a lot of people have just not bothered with them and then attached the Seraphim to some rocks or something. That works. But the plasma pistol joke, they at least haven't done in these new models. Pretty much every other unit of the new Primaris range that had the Battle Sister, that had the plasma pistols, On the Space Marines, they did the, oh, he's got a plasma pistol, so his hand must have blown up, so he's now got a robotic hand. They did that on the Intercessors. They did it on the Assault Intercessors. They did it on the Blade Guard. They've done it on the new Lieutenant that came with the Brutalis Dreadnought and the Desolation Marines. They did it on the Plasma Squad. What are they called? They have some kind of in or ending name. They are plasma incinerators. That squad. The guy with the plasma pistol, he has a bionic hand. They keep doing it. Yes, Hellblasters, thank you. They do it again and again. It's the same joke. It's like, we get it. It was funny one time, the community liked it, and then don't do it again. Oh yeah, Dark Angels love their plasma. So much plasma. I have a lot of plasma for my Chaos Space Marines. Not in my Space Marines though. It's bolt guns. Bolt guns and heavy bolters for a Imperial Fist style. Which I think, for the new detachments, I might actually be better going Salamanders, because then when I get into 12 inches, not only... Oh no, I don't even need to rapid fire, because all the bolt guns are just 2 shots now. None of that rapid fire business, except for the Stone Guard ones, which get an extra shot at 12 inches. But then they'll also be an extra strength, which is very nice. So I may do that. Depends if I can fit enough transport in as well to make it worth it. Yes. Yes. So they haven't done the thing. Ooh, thank you very much. That is a very nice super sticker. Lovely. Thanks a lot. Oh, it's number 1. Oh, that's nice. I love it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 40k Planetary Government Simulator. That'd be good. That would be like Democracy, one of the Democracy games, like Democracy 4. Here's all the problems on your planet. It could even be randomly generated. They could have an easy planet and then a hard planet. It'd be like, oh, you're now the governor of Necromunda. Have fun, everyone. How authoritarian do you want to be? And things like that. Or you're the Governor General of Terra. Ooh. Yeah. That could be a lot of fun. I would like 40k Planetary Governor Simulator. Love it. That's a great idea. Mm-hmm. The hand that supports the rocket launcher looks like shielding Marine's face. Yeah. What you can also use for that, the one I saw used more, is if you cut the hand off the biker. So the bikers had this like claw hand going over the handlebar. Ooh. Is that a ping? Okay. Something happened there. Oh, it's just that coming in a little bit late. Okay, that's what the ping was. Okay. That's my stream elements catching up. Thank you, Stream Elements. And thank you again for the 1 sticker. That was very nice. Grox Farming Simulator. Oh, they would definitely do that probably for like an April Fool's and be like, this isn't a real game. Just like Made Meadow Regions, the game that doesn't exist. And then you could, oh, save it at 40k level? Maybe. I think what they would do there is just, it's like the same thing from Battlefleet Gothic, that whole planet simulator stuff. That's all together and going, yeah. Yeah. Ah, well. Ooh. Right, 4 minutes, and then we'll switch to the premiere of the Genestealer Cult Brood Brothers video. And then if it goes okay, then in future, when I have more dramatic things, bigger things, like the equivalent of my full hour-long stream premiere of the Battle Sisters, which had analysed all of their different units. That was a lot of work, but that was also good fun to have as a premiere and sit there with you and, you know, chat through it as we go. So that's something we'll be able to do. Yeah. Wonderful. I'm glad you're looking forward to it. It's so soon. So soon. And hopefully, if YouTube works, all I should need to do is click 2 buttons, and then we go there. It'll probably take like a few seconds for the whole page to reload, but eventually, it should happen. It should work. That's probably where the scuff's going to be, although I think we know the scuff already is with the music that I can hear that no one else can hear, and I'm not just a crazy person. No, I am very sane. I am so sane that I decided what I want to do with my life is put on a necklace, put on a vampire cloak, and become a moving PNG. That's something I was like, yes, this is a logical, sensible thing to do. Oh dear, oh my. Have I played Sins of the Solar Empire? You need to exterminate people. Oh, okay. Okay. No, but I see the premise. I definitely see the premise. Generally, I like games where you can integrate the population into your society, like Rome Total War, things like that, rather than going exterminators every single time. Although with Rome Total War, there was quite a lot of exterminators every single time. Mm-hmm. Oh, it happens. So much exterminating. I am thinking with my new Deathwatch models, which I now have, several of them have shields. I'm also going to give them a Gladius type sword, so they look very Roman with the shield and the sword. Yeah, just walking towards. I don't know if it's the optimal build, but it's going to be a fun build. And then I'll also have to have maybe a guy with the... He's not shielding like his face from... Oh, yeah. It's the hand that goes up. That's right. The hand that goes up for the rocket launcher is covering his eyes as he fires it. Yeah, that would work. That would definitely work. Otherwise, there's like gripping his eyes to be like, ah, this is awful. That's what you use the biker hand for. Absolutely. So that'll work. That'll work. I don't have any medication to take. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Frostpunk sounds a lot of fun. I haven't got Frostpunk. At some point, I may do it. But then I don't know if I want to send the children down the mines. I'm from Northeast England, so sending children down the mines has been a historic thing that we've done a lot. And I'm very glad that my generation didn't have to go down the mines as children. Or ever. So good. So good. Okay. Okay. Ooh, number went up. Number went up. That's very nice. I like that the number went up. That's what we're here for. We were here to see that number change from 3031 to 3032. Now I'm just checking the status of the premiere, which is soon. It says a lot of people are waiting. Maybe it's just because you have it open in a separate tab. That's fine. That's fine. But I am now going to be clicking the button so that we will go to that live premiere, and I'll be there. I'll be in the chat, and we can have great fun with the Genestealer Cult Brood Brothers. So I hope this has been a nice live stream for just an hour. Some casual chatting. The number went up again. Look, everyone. The number went up again. That's what we're here for. Okay, I'm clicking the button. I'll see you there. I hope you've had a great day of 40K.